Hi guys, this is a video just showing you how to replace the trigger membrane sensors on a PS4 DualShock 4 controller. I managed to get my parts from ReplaceBase, they have their own website, which will just be replacebase.co.uk. Also they do sell on eBay, so if you need to get them, that's where I got the parts. Before I continue, you'll notice my voice is a bit bad. I'm a bit ill at the moment, so apologies for that. This is the pack you get. It's actually the entire membranes, as it calls it, for all of the controller. So there's the 4 button parts in there. I think there's probably going to be bits like the PlayStation button. I guess that one might be, and so on. The bits we need, I shall just get out. Like I said, these are just for the triggers for this video, because touch wood, the rest of my controller's working fine. So let's tip all these out now. So the trigger ones that we need are these. I've got 2 black marks on them, and I'll just zoom into that for you so you can see in more detail. Mine have basically worn out. I found this unfortunately in the latest release of Gran Turismo, the demo brought out. When I was pressing R2 for accelerate, it was only picking up that was half throttling, even though I was pushing the trigger all the way down. So let's just get into this. The controller, if you don't know already, focus has 4 screw holes, 1 at each of the bottom, and then 1 at the top by the triggers. Not that smaller hole. That smaller hole, if you don't know, is what you use to reset the controller. It is worth doing that before you start working it, because obviously there's no on-off switch and you might accidentally switch it on. So I have tapped the reset button just to stop it turning itself on while I'm working on it. Once you've got those 4 screws out, the very first time it can be a little bit tight to undo, because it's literally just held together by sort of the top and half. You can see the clear line where it separates. It comes apart. The main bit you need to sort and get out of the way is these 2 bottom parts here. You see these long bits that the screws go into. They need to be pulled up and come out with a bit of a click. So it's one side and the other side. Now once that's out, it's very much quite loose. Again, first time round it might still be quite tight. Now the thing to notice here is you've got, just get that focus sorted, you've got a couple of things that you want to be careful of. One is the battery pack. It's got 2 wires. This shouldn't sort of fall to pieces, it's pretty well made, and the ribbon connecting the touchpad on the front of the controller and the light bar, that's there. Best way I found to work it is to put it sort of top to top like that. Just put that back in there so it's out of the way. So yeah, once you're in here, one thing you do need to watch out for, that's easy to lose, is the reset button. And actually, as I've taken it apart, it has popped out. It's gone over here, look, which is this little thing here. Let's get that focus in. It only goes in one way. It's got like a T at the top, and it goes into the hole underneath the ribbon next to the battery. You can see it's like got a gold shine at the bottom. That there is the button for resetting the controller. But like I say, it is easy to lose this bit. It's nice if you have bought the the replacement parts. One of these is included as well, so if you do lose it, it's not the end of the world if you've already ordered the replacement parts. So yeah, that we'll just put to the side for now. Now, like I said, the bit we're concentrating on is the triggers. Funnily enough, they seem to have come apart separately. One side has stayed attached to the main body, the other side has unclipped itself and stayed onto the back. It doesn't matter really. Excuse me. And in here, excuse me, in here you can see the parts, these rubber membranes that we're going to replace. You can see on mine that they are worn out. You can actually see the line in it where it's actually split, which is the reason that mine is faulty at the moment. So it's probably best to get the trigger completely out of the way. So if it holds itself in the body of the controller, it just pushes out. There's no clips holding it in. Do not lose that spring there. That is what makes the trigger spring back once you pressed it. So put that to the side. Make sure the spring stays with it. If it stays attached to the actual main part of the controller, there is a leg each side. You'll see. So it kind of comes apart just by pulling it out. You can see just below my thumb, the arm or the leg, that pops into that slot there. Again, do not lose that spring. So put them to the side. Now, next, to get to these membranes, I'm going to call them that. It feels weird to call them that. We need to remove the R1 and L1 buttons as well. Now, they are clipped in. There's 2 clips on the back and 1 clip on the front. I think I've got that the right way around. Either or. You can see there's where the 2 lines are. In there is one of the clips. So the best way of taking these out is to just spin that back over. There's my buttons popped out again. Put that with the triggers. Spin that over so it's almost like it should be. And then, because you've now removed these triggers, there's a bit more play in them to get them out. The way I do it is you push it back, so the front of the controller's here. You push it towards the back, and it should. There's a little bit of play. Bear in mind I'm doing this one-handed. There we go. It sort of clicks at each side. Sorry, you're not really seeing this. It clicks at each side of the button and pops out. And I can show you a bit more in depth how it sits in. So you can see there, I think, have I snapped part of it? Nope, I haven't. Nope, that is how it's supposed to be. So there's like a clip leg, quite a long clip leg, and then 2 clip legs on the back. And then you see the 2 holes left and right. That goes into the 2 pillars you can see there, and that's what locates it in place. So again, we'll put them out the way. I'll just remove the other one so you can see it a bit better now. It's just now you know where those 2 clips are. You can sort of maybe even get a flathead screwdriver in there to remove. There we go. So again, I've pushed it up on one side, and then I'm going to get my nail on the other side, and it'll just pop off. That's those 2 out the way. Right. So now we've got full access to these membranes, each side. You can see that the R1 trigger is a lot more damaged as such. It does have that clear line through it where the trigger is sat against it, and that's going to be replaced. So if we get one of the new replacements and put it next to it, you can see quite a big difference. There isn't that big line in it, and it looks cleaner. Bear in mind, this controller is one of the very first PlayStation 4 controllers, because I got my PS4 on release back in 2000 and whatever it was, 2014 sounds about right. Anyway, so this is the original controller, so it's done pretty well. You know, it's had a lot of use. It's quite funny that the R2 trigger has worn out, because I do primarily play racing games, which obviously most people use the triggers for accelerating and brake. So removing these guys, if I spin it this way, it's all rubber or silicon, so it's dead easy. But you can see there's a lip that just sits over a plastic edge. So if you just lift that lip up, it all pops out like that. Simple as that. Once you've got that loose, you just pull it up, and out it comes. So I'm going to put that next to its replacement now, so you can see the difference. Okay, I'm on focus, you can do this. You can see that line in it. So to put the new one in, it's just simply a case of putting it on top. So get rid of the old one out of the way, don't want to put that back in, we'll put a nice shiny new one in. You can see, once that membrane is removed, there's 2 holes which you have to match up with the 2 legs on the replacement part. So you slide it in, or put it straight in, and then ensure that the legs go into the holes, which it's so small and fiddly I can't really show you exactly going in, but it's pretty self-explanatory. You can see 2 legs and the 2 holes. So that's now located pretty much. So you just need to make sure that that back lip goes over there, and that it's all seated nicely. So just give it a little push, make sure it's not loose, that there's nothing sort of hanging off. it's sat flat, and that is a replacement part in. I won't bore you with the rest of the video because doing the other side is exactly the same. I'll just take that old one off, put the new one in, and yeah, away we shall go. But it's as simple as that. Once you're putting this stuff back together, like I say, the key things to remember are the reset button piece. Make sure you put that in, and as it clips together, make sure it stays in place. That's one key thing. Also, just from being mindful of that ribbon cable, it gives you some clearance look to play with, but you know, they're not the most. Excuse me, they're not the most strongest of things. And that's that. And yeah, the triggers, just make sure that these metal spring clips do stay on it, and you need to make sure that they locate again back where they should go, which is on the underside of the triggers. Obviously they're marked so you can't get them mixed up. You've got R2 and L2 marked on them, so we've got R2 here. The spring, you can see there is a cutout on that side. On the left, as you're looking at it, the spring sort of goes down that channel on the left hand side, and then when it clips into the back into the controller, there is another channel that the other end of the spring goes in. If we can get that to focus. Tell you what, I should get the screwdriver and show you where that channel is. Gosh, we're struggling here, aren't we? Let's get it back in the light. Pretty much. It just needs to go into the channel that is just here. There is a line along the side of it where the screwdriver is now. The spring goes down that cutout line there, and then the other side is the opposite. It's on the inside of the controller. So yeah, that's it. Any questions, just pop them down below. Hopefully other people can help you out as well. Like I say, I'm not going to do any of the other buttons because I don't really need to, and I don't want to fix if it how's it go? Don't fix it if it ain't broke. So I'll keep these as spares, obviously, if ever I need them another day. But thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe, and I shall catch you in the next video.